The word most associated with Mindy is sweet, and she was. She also had a brilliant wit, was hilarious, and truly suffered no fools. These qualities endeared her to me as much as her sweetness. Elizabeth Gray. I'd like to call Tom Tinelli up now to share his part.
I'm going to borrow this. I feel like I may have to lean on that at some point. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom Tinelli. I'm a friend of Mindy's. I first wanted to start by thanking Pat and my friend Darryl O'Brien for all they did to get me meeting together. They did a wonderful job, and Edith Meeks, our executive director, gave us this beautiful space. I've performed in many times, and she loves so very much. And also our office angel, I'm going to call you right here, he is, after the break, Hodges. Students near and far and let them know what was happening over the course of the week, so thank you all very much. I received a lot of...
And profit wine.
Oh, and profit wine.
Double up cut?
When I heard from a lot of other folks too during the week, reached out to me, students I hadn't heard from in a number of years that attended school here, everybody wanting to know what was going on, wanted to be part of the evening to the degree that they could. Many of them living overseas now, living in different states. For those that could not attend, they passed along their good wishes and condolences, obviously, to the Lewis family. When Pat asked me to say a few words a couple days ago, I was quick to say yes, and no sooner did we end our communication, I had a panic attack. I'm really not a very good public speaker, so I'm going to ask you guys to bear with me as I kind of fumble my way through this. I thought for a while about some of the things that I'd like to say, and it was very difficult for me to figure out exactly what that should be. And I thought that's a little bit strange because I've known Mindy 15 years. And there's certainly plenty of stories, plenty of things to talk about, plenty of experiences. So why is this so difficult for me? And I think the reason it was so difficult was because I've known her in so many different ways over the course of the years, and I just simply didn't know. It wasn't an issue of not knowing what to talk about. It was what to talk about. What do I talk about? Do I talk about what life was like when I got here 15 or 16 years ago and I walked into the studio and as a new student and had an interaction with Mindy and the warmth and generosity that she extended to not only me, but all the students who came into the studio? Do I talk about that? Do I talk about our experiences as co-workers as I transitioned over into the studio as a part-time and full-time employee, or our relationship in the HB Ensemble together, or the many events that we worked here in the studio and in the Playwrights Foundation, the Christmas parties and the open mic nights and the gala. I just didn't know where to start. And I said, well, you need to think of something to say.
No.
You need to think of somewhere to start. And I think the best way for me to start is to say this. In the time that I spent here in the studio, and I spent a lot of the same years here in different capacities, there were, oh God, in excess of 1,000 students here. That's probably still the case today, maybe more at that time. And every single one of them knew Mindy. And she knew them all. She knew them not only by name, but she knew something about everybody. She knew a little bit about everybody. And I think that's the best testament to who she was as a person. She got to know people personally. She got to know something about them. Everyone at the studio knew Mindy, and everyone at the studio loved Mindy, and she loved them back. And I think that that's a powerful testament to her as a person. It was really, she was just something very, very special. And as far as her as an actress, I knew a little bit about her work actually, because before we were students or key students or employees of the studio or members of the HB Ensemble, we were all students first year. and we remain students through our lifetime here at the studio. So as students, we passed each other in class. I see some of the other classmates and friends over the years, and we knew each other's work a little bit from classroom environments and whatnot. But it wasn't until she joined the HB Ensemble in 2007 that I got to see her work up close and personal, and in a much more detailed way, right here on this very stage. Whether it was Olga in Summer Folk or the hysterical scene she had in Electric Barago's piece, The Lady with the Lapdog, where she was the woman on the cart and he was the stagecoach driver, and an hysterical exchange. Hedda Gabler as the maid in Hedda Gabler. And for those of you who saw those performances, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For those of you folks that maybe didn't get the chance, I hate to say you missed out on something special, but you really did. Her work was so detailed. It was so beautiful, and I think it was a combination of her spirit coming through these characters, coupled with her choices for the characters. She was mesmerizing to watch on this stage. Mesmerizing. The audience was taken with everything she did. She didn't have to say much. She didn't have to say much. She didn't have to do much. She could captivate the audience with a glance or one single line, and she had the audience right in the palm of her hand. And it was really, really something to see. Her performances just cracked me up. It was the comic timing was so impeccable. I just, the piece in Alexi's piece was just so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. It was my favorite piece of the evening, and an evening of very fine pieces, so that really says something. So I knew her acting well, and I got to know it even better as time went along. What I did not know at the time, and I probably because I didn't take singing classes, was I had no idea she knew how to sing. I had no idea at all. And I found that out right here in this theater one day. We had these evenings, we called these open mic evenings years ago, and they were a combination of different things. We had Valentine's Day poetry slams and Halloween parties and all kinds of different things where students could get up on stage and read a poem, or Valentine's Day, I love you, I hate you, or whatever. There was more hate poetry on those evenings, and I couldn't understand that. Get up and rip into their significant others, and I said, thanks for sharing. We were setting up for one of those evenings, maybe it was a poetry slam, I'm not quite sure. And I was in here, and Mindy was in here, as she normally would be in the theater, organizing in the middle of the events, kind of leading the charge. Giovanni Villery, who was our technical director at the time, was here, and several others. And we were setting up, doing various things. And Giovanni yells from the sound booth. He says, somebody needs to get up on that stage and pick up the microphone and just do a quick sound check. So for those folks that get up and you want to tell a story, sing a song, or whatever, we know it's working. And I was over here, and Giovanni was up there, and Mindy was closer to the stage, and she said, I'll do it. I'll get up and do it. She made her way on the stage. Nobody was really looking at her or expecting anything. They kind of figured she'd get up and say, testing 1, 2, 3, or tap, tap, tap on the microphone. You could hear that work. And I had my back turned, and suddenly, from the stage, she belts out the song. And everyone who was working in the theater stopped and turned, and their mouth went like this. I just couldn't believe it. I had no idea that she could sing at all, let alone sing like that. And she didn't do the whole song, which was very unfortunate for us, but she sang the first couple of verses. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. She melted the song out. And when she was done, I ran on the stage and my mouth had this. I didn't know you could sing like that. I thought you said, I don't understand. I didn't know any of these things about you. And she just sat there and she's been singing since I was a kid. It's no big deal. And I got to tell you guys something. I've taken some singing classes here at the studio myself. And, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And I have to say that, in some of those classes and some of those songs, people kind of respond to me the same way. They sit there with their mouth open. But it's not because it sounds good. They sit there with their mouth hanging open and go, oh, God. So they didn't respond to me the way they responded to Mindy, but they certainly enjoyed it, you know, for what it was. She was just a delight to be around, all the time, every day. That big spirit, that big warmth, that big laugh. I used to call her Mindy Giggle. When I worked upstairs, I'd run up into the second floor office where she was working. She didn't see me coming, and I'd throw my arms around her, I'd give her a kiss, and she'd giggle, you know, and that it would just stick in my head for the rest of the day. But as sweet as she was, she could be a tough taskmaster. She was very, here we go. Straight from her sister. So there we go. She liked things a certain way. You know, she really enjoyed things a certain way, and that was never more evident to the poor guys in the office than over the Christmas holidays. It was time to decorate the office. It was time to decorate for the staff party, and we called her the little general. She'd come through the office and yo, you know, better get that stuff. Let's go. Come on. Get down. So we're going to decorate. We go. You know, come on. We're guys. You know, we hate this kind of thing. Christmas sucks. We're all poor. We don't want to do any of this stuff. And she said it wasn't important enough that you just help. You had to like it too. You weren't enjoying the decorating. It was as bad as saying, hey, I don't want to decorate at all. So one year came and I was talking to my good friend Kenneth Thompson in the office, and I said, this is going to be tough this year. You know, she's on a tear. She's very meticulous about the way she likes things. You know, she likes to hang those ornaments. They've got to be just right. She'd be there, you know, on the chair pointing at, it's not right. That's, you know, it's not. And I said, I thought to myself, I got to get out of this. I've got to figure out a way to get out of this. And I can't tell her. So I said, I'm going to beat her to the punch this year. Went down to the second floor office where she was working, and I said, hey, I've got great news. I've got really fantastic news. I know you're down because the guys give you a hard time. You know, they don't want to decorate. They don't want to participate. Kenneth Thompson, young guy in the office, he is so excited about it. His brother just had a baby, and Christmas and a whole perspective. He told me personally that he wants to decorate with you this year. And not only that, but he wants you to supervise. He's getting off in 10 minutes, and he told me for you to seek him out and get him before he leaves for the day, and he will stay late with you, and he's going to decorate the whole office. And she said, really? And I said, yeah, really. And, you know, he meets the criteria. He's happy about it. He wants to help, you know. So she said, okay. But you're not off the hook. I'm not letting you off. I said, no, I understand completely. So I grabbed my stuff and I ran like fire. I said, it's a matter of 5 minutes before they figure out what I did. And I ran and I went home, and I fully expected a call that night. I figured somebody's going to call and someone's going to curse me out over the phone or something. Came in the next day, never got a call at home, came in the next day, walked in early, looked at the office, beautifully decorated, exactly the way Mindy wanted it, liked it. And I'm looking around, and I don't see her anywhere, and I see my good friend, Mr. Thompson. He's sitting in the kitchenette area, putting a cup of coffee or something, and I walked past anybody. I said, decorations, you're awesome. Great, you know. And he turned to me and said, son of a bitch. I'm going to get you, so help me, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. And Mindy got me back as well.
I'm still going to get you. So help me God.
He's got me back in the years past, and Mindy did too.
Tom, one apropos to this with Mindy's pedanticness, another thing which we all loved her for but made us crazy. Every term, before every term, we had staff meetings. And Mindy had these charts. And we sort of knew, but no. We have to start at line 1, and she sits there like she's the headmistress of the school, and all the children have to sit there. Now, this is this, and this is this, and line Mindy. Now, then we go here, and went through this whole litany, and we've already known it, but like Tom says, she had to do it, and we went, okay. So I just
She
want to
liked,
cover
yeah,
that.
she liked to do it, you know, the way she liked to do it, we all loved her for it, you know.
All I can
Kenneth
say.
got me back,
There he is.
Kenneth,
Try
Kenneth,
being her little sister.
Kenneth got me back and Mindy got me back too, because I used to do this Austin Pendleton impersonation from Mindy all the time. She loved it a lot. Come on.
Let's see it.
Mindy. She went to Austin and she told me privately, during summer club, she was auditioning for summer club. And she went to him and she said, I think I made a mistake, I think we're doing that. And I said, what is it? So I went to Austin, I broke down, I started to cry. And I said, yeah, but the auditions are over. What will you know? And she said, well, I went to him and I said, Austin, please, I want to be Olga. I know I'll be a great Olga. And he said, Mindy, please. You're already Olga. I decided already. Don't cry anymore. So I used to do this impersonation for her all the time, and she would laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh all the time. So, and it was always the one thing. And so I did that for her one day before a Tuesday Austin Pendleton class, or a Monday Austin Pendleton class. So she goes into class that night. Normally they had a scene to do. And at the end of the scene, she says, Austin says, you know, so maybe what do you tell me? And she breaks down, laughing, right? And he says, you're laughing, you're mocking me. Why are you? And she said, Austin, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it's not you. It's just I have this friend, you know. And this was a way to get back at him. I have this friend in the office that does this impersonation. He said, well, who's your friend? And there were 35 students in that class, or 30 students. Well, it's Tom Tinelli. So they start to roar, and he said, that's a bitch. You know? A lot of that going on at that time. So, for those of you guys who were not here, who were new to the studio, who were not here during this period of time, don't understand some of the references I'm making to the different events, I can't begin to tell you how much fun it was being here at the studio, to work here and to play here. And the laughter and the friendship and the camaraderie that rang through this place, this theater that we're in, the 122 where we had our dressing rooms before shows, 120 Bank Street, it was something else. And I thought yesterday about those times, which for me were some of the best and happiest times of my life, certainly in the last 20 or 25 years. I'm not giving away my age. And I thought to myself, I don't think those memories, those things that I was thinking about and talking, sharing with you guys about tonight would have been as special, if at all possible, if it wasn't for Mindy. Mindy was a coordinator. She was always involved in everything that went on. Everyone knew Mindy and loved Mindy, and I don't know if the memories for me would have been the same if she wasn't a part of, we didn't travel to the same time and space at the same time. So I can't believe I'm standing here actually. I can't believe that I'm actually sitting here talking about this. I'm going to leave you with one more thing before I step off and I turn it over to one of the old nice, handsome, and talented little ones. And that's this, which kind of struck me as I walked through the door tonight. I thought it was kind of odd, happened right when I got here. And that's this, because I'm an analytical guy, and kind of think about things analytically. And I guess when things like this happen, I have a tendency of trying to reason, understand why they look the way they are. And I spent some time thinking about it, and I couldn't wrap my head around it initially. But I started thinking about this, concept of time and how it's finite for all of us, how we only have so much of it to teach and every one of us. And I've always believed that when people leave this earth, when they leave us, that it should be important that they were here, that their life should have made a difference in the lives of other people. Their time here should have been time that was well spent, time that was valuable. And I think in that regard, Mindy's life was a life worth living and a life well lived. She touched people's lives, and she was involved in what went on here, and people were mesmerized by her personality, by her spirit, by her smile, by her laughter. We enjoyed her for those reasons. We enjoyed her performances here in this space. We enjoyed her friendship next door. And I think that's a wonderful legacy, and it's a wonderful way to spend one's life. She lived her life exactly as it was meant to be lived, and it was a life well lived and a life worth living. And with that, I would say thank you very much, everyone.